Hi guys, I would like to chat today about employer contracts and accepting a job as a cybersecurity executive. This is something that we tend to do very poorly, and you see some, Fortune 500 companies, very famous CISOs who did it well and have a golden parachute. But most of us that are in a CISO role have nothing protecting us. And what made me think about this is a happy hour discussion I was having on Zoom with a group of cybersecurity pros a couple weeks ago. And they were saying that, well, the CISOs get blamed for the attack, but they get a nice retirement, they get all kinds of money. That's usually not true. It's only usually true at a Fortune 500 where it's actually negotiated into their severance contract. Or larger companies where they take the time to negotiate it into their severance contract. Most CISOs are just employees of a company. They may have authority and maybe a C-level role. A lot of times they have equity options and bonus potential beyond, what your normal employees would have, and they're paid better. But usually their employment contract is not giving them millions of dollars if there's a breach, if they're fired. What we're talking about with that is what's called a golden parachute clause. And it's something that I'd actually like a lot of advice in how to negotiate. When next time I accept a CISO role, I'll probably be pulling in an employment lawyer and making sure that that's in my contract. Things like that. So what is a golden parachute clause? It's basically saying, if there's something that goes on and they, remove you, from your position, this is your severance. This is your golden parachute. And it's, may say that there's, it may say something about PR, referrals, recommendations. It may say something about what they're allowed to blame or put on you. But usually it has an amount of money in it. And usually it has other benefits in it. So one golden parachute that I've seen recently was basically paying a year's worth of salary as the severance, as well as a year's worth of health and vision and dental and 401k benefits. So basically, if something happens and that executive was let go, they get a year's worth of parachute, basically. In one lump sum, usually. It's a severance check. But that's usually how they're handling it. Now, the rest of us who just, work our way into a CISO position within a company, usually do not have that in our employment contract or in our offer letter. There's usually no such thing as that kind of golden parachute in our clause, in our thing. So usually we have more of a normal severance that is, if you let me go, I'm due 90 days worth of pay, that kind of thing, if anything. Personally, I have nothing. So if a breach happens, really I have no golden parachute. If they decide to let me go, I'm on my ass. There's really no protection for me right now. So golden parachute is something that you want to make sure you get negotiated into your contract. And if you are going for a CISO position, and it is a decent paying job or is a job with a company that has a lot of visibility, you will want to, or a lot of risk, you'll want to make sure that you pull in an employment lawyer to help you negotiate your contract and make sure that that's in your offer letter, it's in your employment contract, because that unlike most everything else on the employment letter and contract, we want to make sure that there's no, oh well, this can change any time at the will of the employer. No, like if you decide to downsize, whatever, you should be able to get paid as that executive. You're going through a lot of risk as the senior cybersecurity executive at a company, you are the one who everyone's looking at for everything. Your entire reputation, your employability in the future, everything rests on you. The company's reputation, the company's compliance, security, everything. They're putting a lot on your shoulders. So you definitely should negotiate that golden parachute. Now, there's a type of insurance that directors insurance and executives insurance that some directors and executives get. It's kind of it's a special policy. It's not like your normal cyber liability policy. It's a special policy basically to help protect you in case the company goes for you or someone goes for you as the director or an executive in the company. This is if someone manages to pierce the corporate veil, which does happen, that would protect you. Or if the company, for some reason, is singling you out, that would protect you. So that insurance policy, you'll want to look at what's involved in that policy, get a quote for it, and I would even include it in your offer negotiations, saying that, okay, this is my policy rate, you're paying for this policy as a part of my employment. So that is another thing to do. But yeah, I wanted to dispel the notion that if you're a C-level executive, you just, it's all, parties and money, and you get paid if there's a breach, etc. Usually not. Usually you're just unemployed. And, so if you want that kind of, if you're coming in as an executive in a company, I would recommend that you argue for that executive and director's insurance and for the golden parachute. And if the company is not willing to include the executive and director's insurance in their offer, not willing to pay for that, then for you, then definitely make sure that you are paying for it yourself, and you're just advocating for yourself in the amount that you are negotiating for, that you'll be able to pay for that. Another benefit that I will always insist on is really budget for conferences, travel, training, things like that. Part of what I do and what I will always do is stay up to date with security with conferences and stay trained up with conferences and things like that. It's how you network. It's how you find people to hire. It's how you learn more skills. So I will always be going to conferences, and as such, the companies pay for those. All right. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. Have a good day. See you.